hit start recording so I can record my local. We're local because Twitch's YouTube export has been poopy lately. Yeah, the Bajuka Bog seems weird. I guess there are some random graveyard decks in Pauper. I looked at a lot of like, this is a pretty successful archetype recently in Pauper, and I looked at a lot of the different deck lists, and I kind of pick and chose some of the things I liked from different decks that had been successful, that seemed reasonable. From like, I played like 40 or 50 matches of Pauper now, so like I feel like I have a little bit of an understanding of what's going on in the format. So we'll see. I would like to play. This hand's kind of medium, but I think it's keepable. MTGO bot is working. Oh, look at that. Is my status gonna work? Is the real question. Looks like it is working. Sweet. Look at that. All right, sweet. All right, so we're gonna lead on Swiftwater Cliffs. Almost clicked the Chancery there by mistake. That would have been bad. Yep, looks like opponent is playing teach. So this is actually the other deck that I've been tooling around with. Oh, you know what? I should have just firebolted his dome there. That was a mistake, because now not only can I not I'm gonna have to discard when I Mole Drifter, but like he's playing Teachings, so like I should just be firebolting his dome. And I'm going to work really hard to stay ahead on clock, because like Dino mentioned, these matches definitely tend to go long on Teachings on both sides. Doesn't matter what deck your opponent's playing. If my opponent is playing Teachings, I think we're gonna play it a little slow here and wait and cast the Mole Drifter on. Yeah, we're gonna wait and cast the Mole Drifter on five resources. So next turn I'm gonna firebolt him plus play Is It Boilerworks and pick up the Swiftwater Cliffs here. Mortuary Mire. Maybe he's not playing Teachings? He might not be playing Teachings, actually, with that start. We'll see here. The fact that we drew Ichor Wellspring means I'm not going to take the sequence that I said. I'm actually going to go ahead and play even Core Skyfisher and get a threat onto the table, because this requires us to return a permanent we control to our hand, so when this comes into play, we return Ichor Wellspring, effectively making this cantrip. If he has Mortuary Mire in his deck, that could mean that he has creatures in his main deck, like Mole Drifters, and they play Big Fish occasionally. So yeah, I'll sacrifice this. So it is looking like Teachings, but he might have some of the Teachings decks do play Gurmag Angler in their main. So this is blue-black Angler Delver. Okay, that's fair. We're going to have to discard this turn, which is unfortunate. Again, going back to that one turn I should have firebolted him onto. So I'll play Is It Boilerworks, return Ancient Den to our hand. Probably just going to bin the firebolt here, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to bin the firebolt. I guess we don't need the Prophetic Prison, really. Yeah. Maybe I'll hold on to the Firebolt for now. Yeah, I'm going to bin the Prophetic Prism, actually. So 100% Teachings? I mean, I don't know how I feel about claiming something's 100% something, but it's probably, it's very likely Teaching. No, that wasn't what I wanted. Good. Glad I didn't have white mana in the pool. Let's cast Ichor Wellspring. Play Ancient Den. Play Glint Hawk, return Ichor Wellspring to our hand. So this deck's just a bunch of value cards. To replay this. I hate how these lands work on Magic Online, just like a lot of things on Magic Online. Alright, pass the turn back here. And again, just going to hold these Mole Drifters to actually cast. I mean, you got to think twice. He's a little ahead on clock right now, so like I said, I'm going to do my best to... get ahead on clock here. Just bolt the dome. Right, Forgotten Cave's not bad. I think we're going to lead on Mole Drifter here. See what we get. This is probably eating a counterspell. I assume he's been saving his counterspells. He has just been like killing these guys, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and play Glint Hawk and pick up Ichor Wellspring here. Do I want to hold this Forgotten Cave? I think we can always return this later with like a Core Skyfisher, so I'm going to put this out into play for now. Yeah, I think so, Dino Ari. That's what my money would be on. It's a neat card. I haven't seen that one before. Cast. So hopefully, if he's got creatures in the main deck, this Journey to Nowhere might not be a dead card, which would be great. Oh man, is this resolving? That would be so good. Rats. We're just the unluckiest. Exclude, gross, deprive. Yeah, that's fine. We might just get run out of threats. So again, this is my second match with the deck. I've only played one so far, so I have no idea how matchups play out, good, bad, or otherwise. We do have 4 Pyroblasts in the sideboard, so that seems like a pretty reasonable thing. All right, and he does have creatures in the main deck. That's why he's got Mortuary Mire in his deck, and he has Mortuary Mire in his hand. So if I Firebolt this, he's going to be able to replay it next turn, or he's going to be able to Mortuary Mire it back next turn. So I don't think I want to do that. Let's go for Mole Drifter one more time here. Sweet, that's good for us. We can go ahead and play Glint Hawk out, return Ichor Wellspring to our hand, play Ancient Den, play Ichor Wellspring. Let's get the value train going. Won't you take me to Value Town? Won't you take me to We could Journey it, but then we're a little bit weak to Big Fish. Deep Anal, sure. I'm just gonna Firebolt this. Yeah, I'm gonna save the Journey for now. It takes him 2 turns to like Mortuary plus replay it. I'm not gonna play out the Lone Missionary because I want follow-up threats in case he's playing Justice in his deck, which is a 4-cost card that deals 2 damage to each creature and each player. So I don't just want to be cold to that. Like not have any pressure to follow it up. Wishing I wouldn't have played this out. Like maybe I was supposed to hold this just because like he was bound to hit. We were bound to hit more lands eventually and then feel a little flooded. What's he got? Chainer's Edict, sure. Alright, well. Play these missionaries out. Gain all of the life that he just doesn't care about. We do have 6 points of reach right now. Not that that's probably relevant. We have Skyfisher, Echoing Decay. Right, they do have a Bile Blight-esque effect. I only have 1 of them, but target opponent discards 2 cards. Alright, well, we'll discard our pieces that aren't reach. I have no idea. I haven't really put much thought into. Like I said, I just put looked at deck lists and decided to put this one together. I think Crypt Incursion stops that plan. Yeah, probably. Like I said, I would not be surprised if this matchup's not good for us. Like, the Teachings deck is very good at beating up, like, these mid-rangey creature decks, like... Yeah, I guess it depends on the list. Like, my Teachings list has a main deck Crypt Incursion. This isn't the worst. We get to bolt him and then blast him. And 0 Teachings, just blue-black control. Okay, that's interesting. I guess I could see that. Like, he has deep analysis and a couple other cards I wouldn't expect people to play in a Teachings deck. There's Big Fish. Alright, well, we know what our game plan is. We'll send this upstairs. We're on the Peel Galvanic Blast to kill him plan. Thanks, Steveman. Ah, no, he gained a life. We're just the unluckiest. Do I want to hold on to this? I guess I'll put it into play. It's really sad about having played this Forgotten Cave out. I almost didn't that one turn, and then I played it, and now I'm super sad. So we're dead in 4 here. I think we're just like hoping to peel Reach. I guess we could peel some threats too. Drawing land would be great. How many lands are in this deck? 20. I guess we have 22, but 4 of them cycle. Kuldotha Rebirth would be great. Journey's not bad. I'm assuming his hand is just like mono removal and counter spells. So we're dead in 2. Garrison actually cycles. Crap, I forgot to... That was a mistake. I should have floated red with the cave there and used it to cycle itself. We are so close. We are so close. Kill this guy. No, that one makes 2. Kill this guy. So the out here is peel the 3rd Galvanic Blast. That's so sad. Well, now we just have to kill this, and then I don't think we can win this game anymore, but you know, we gave it the old college try. That one point of life from these dismal backwaters just got us so close. So we had to... No! Come on, Worth! Alright, so we're bringing in the Pyroblast, obviously. Curse of the Bloody Tome's probably not awful. Journey seems okay. Electrickery seems awful. What cards aren't good? Electrickery doesn't seem good. Firebolt's medium. We kind of have to kill Muldrifters, I think. Lightning Bolt doesn't seem great. I think Galvanic Blast is fine just because of the level of reach it offers. Bring in the Bog. Yeah, I guess Bog's good. This is a matchup where we want Bog. We can Bog him over and over again. I guess I understand Bog more than Relic because we can Bog him over and over again. No, I want Curse of the Bloody Tome. This seems like a reasonable win condition that he probably can't interact with. Like, the games are going to go long. Is Blast just worse than Firebolt? I would believe that. Lone Missionary doesn't seem very good. Yeah, so it seems like it's in there for... I definitely thought about it for Teachings. Like, this is a Teachings S deck, so Curse seems fine. Need one more cut. I just trim a Galvanic Blast because it's medium. It's just like a little bit of reach. I think O-Ring is fine. I think we want the maximum amount of removal that exiles. Like, I think I want Journeys. I think these are better than the Reach, because, like, his way to kill us is, like, these big fat threats, and these let him not Mortuary Mire or rebuy it in any sort of way. So I think I'd rather have O-Ring and Journey compared to Galvanic Blast. Even without the Stormbound consideration, like, just his main deck threats, I think these line up well. I'm going to go ahead and submit. Apologies if I don't give as much commentary as I usually do, because these matches, this game tends to go long. This is a little medium, but probably a keep. It's got a Prophetic Prism. We're going to cycle this Forgotten Cave. Yeah, I think we're basically just like... Turn off auto yields. Turn off auto yields. Why did it skip? Oh, I don't have a stop on my main phase for some reason. Okay. Sure. Thanks, Worth. So I think the plan is just like, especially with the Bajuka Bog coming in as well, I think the plan is just like never play these cycle lands out, because the game is probably going to get to a point where we just have too many lands. Rebirth's not bad. Early Rebirth is strong for sure. But I mean, like, to be fair, like, if he's not countering our creatures, we're probably cantripping them. That was a fantastic draw, because it's 2 lands in 1. So return Prophetic Prism to our hand here. Play Boros Garrison. Return Ancient Den to my hand. We've got a lot of reach. Tranquil Cove sounds great. I don't think I want to rebirth. I think I want to save the rebirth for when I find an Ichor Wellspring for now. Like, we've got pressure on the table. Let's make him answer this. He's going to play another Think Twice. Sure. It is weird to see MTG bot working, right? He's been offline for so much lately. So we need one more land in order to play Mully with Pyroblast up. I guess I should have waited to play my land if we could draw a tap land here. We want to play it. Let's just cycle this now. Curse. Alright, well, Curse we can jam next turn. We can jam Curse with Pyroblast, so... Is he playing Curse of his own here? Dismal Backwater, sure. Yes, the discard. Discard's a fish. Okay. So I think this is our best opening to resolve the curse here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Curse the Bloody Tome. He's only got 2 blue up. He's just casting counter spells. Let's counter target spell if it's blue. That one. Red counter spells the way Richard Garfield intended. Let's go ahead and cycle this in case we hit a land drop we want to play. And this is going to mill him into some value at some point. Like, he has Think Twices and Deep Analysis in his deck, but it's whatever. Alright, he dealt with our threat. Let's lead on Skyfisher here. See how that goes. We'll return Prophetic Prism if this resolves. Deprive. Alright, that's fine. So let's go ahead, and I did say I wanted to save this. Actually, I should have cycled this, because if we get a Pyroblast, I would have Pyroblasted that. Just a prophetic prism. Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and rebirth one of these. Get 3 idiots into play. So we're hitting him from 2 angles between the curse and the goblins. Yeah, Seagate Oracle's fine. We're going to Gallop Blast this at end step. We lost game 1. That's why the thing in the top right has a down arrow. It means we are down a game. Blast this guy. Dispel, sure. Which spell? Dispel right here. I guess I should technically play this land out because that way if he has like a bounce spell he can't turn off Metalcraft with bounce spells. So we're going to ship for 3 here. I'm just going to go ahead and cast a Muldrifter. Like we have 4 Pyroblasts, but I don't think we really want to wait for that. Just going to auto yield to that so we don't burn our clock too much. Afternoon to everyone. Sorry again, I'm not reading chat as much as I normally do because just worried a little bit about the clock. Maybe we can slow down some now since we've got the curse milling him down, but we get a little bit punished here for being aggressive last turn because we could have resolved Muldrifter this turn. Oblivion Ring. Oh, I'm just going to Firebolt this guy. Crack him for 3. So it's just slowly milling him out here. He's down to 30 cards in his deck, so he's done in like 10-ish turns. Hey, Illusions. What's going on, mate? But big fish on top of his deck, sure. He's got to beat us down. Wait. Oh, and I was to say, wait, that doesn't work because we have a Curse of the Bloody Tome, but that think twice explains it. Get rid of that guy. I mean, opponent's not playing Teaching, so I would be surprised if there's Capsize. I guess he could have like a Miser's Capsize still, but like he can't find it, and we could just mill it over. I'm playing the land out because opponent has Rakshasa Secrets in their deck. They might not still be in their deck, but it's definitely something they've shown us they have access to. Alright, well. Maybe I'm supposed to Fire Blast this first, but yeah, like he just has like infinite counterspells at this point. Soul Manipulation. Oh, that's some value. He's got some value going on. He's gonna draw all the cards. How will we ever beat him when he draws all these cards? Oh wait. We'll just mill him out. Right. Seems good. I would also be very surprised if opponent has Capsize. Yeah, man, that's like a whole extra turn we don't have to play. He's got a discard. Opponent's just the unluckiest. Having the discard. Is he... I think he's winning this race, right? I guess during his upkeep we'll try and Gallop Blast one of these Muldrifters. Well, maybe I'm supposed to try and Gallop Blast it now so that way we can start attacking. I guess we're winning the race on the ground if he starts attacking with things. Disfigure a Goblin. Galv Blast that guy. He's got enough mana that it probably doesn't matter, and this is getting countered regardless. He's drawn infinite cards. Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, my toddler's walking around in the background. He's watching an episode or two of Daniel Tiger before it's time for his nap. 2 Forbidden Alchemies. Probably can't afford to cast those. Oh no, he gained life. How do we manage to win? Let the record reflect that the Curse of Death, Curse of the Bloody Tome in the sideboard seems reasonable. To whoever suggested we probably didn't need that card. Here, okay, I'll move that. He's down to 13 cards in his deck. Shrivel? That's sad. I'll put a Seagate Oracle at top because it only draws 1 card. Destroy target permanent if it's blue. Yeah, get that guy right there. Blast him. Got him. Got him. Get got, opponent. Yeah, draw another card. You draw all of the magic cards you want, bud. Essence Scatter. That card's annoying. God, these curses so good. God bless the 2 of those on our board. Yeah, I think I just let this continue happening. If he wants to Gurmag Angler me, we'll journey it. Opponent's down to 6 cards. He puts Gurmag Angler. Okay. He's gonna put a big fish into play. Probably has a counterspell, but we'll find out. Yeah, this deck has 4 Pyroblasts and 4 Hydroblasts on the board. Alright, there's the concession. Huh. Yeah, I think I like how we boarded. I don't think I want any of this other stuff. Yeah, I think we're just hitting submit here. Welcome to everyone that's hanging out here watching some Pauper this afternoon. Hand has Curse in the opener. Probably a snap keep. Opponent chose to play last. Deal. Deal. God, how good would turn 3 Curse be? Alright, well, we're going to play this. Since we don't have a land drop, we're going to pick up the Ancient Den here, replay the Ancient Den, and then play the Glint Hawk, pick up Ichor Wellspring. Don't Echoing Decay me. Don't do it. Have a heart. Chainer's Edict. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe. I don't want to be that far behind in land drops. Like... It's a shame we don't have a blue source. Oh, it's a blue source. If we drip land this turn and then land next turn, or just... I was going to say, or a Karu. So we're going to have to discard here. Probably just binning a Galv Blast. Yeah, I think we're binning Galv Blast. Don't really need that. We had a turn. Okay, I should have just be like being a little bit more aggressive with my Galv Blast. Yeah, man, you got a Seagate Oracle. We're going to go Curse the Bloody Tome with Power Blast up next turn. That sounds great. The name of this deck is Kuldotha Jeskai. No! Don't arrest me, opponent! Now we can't win the game anymore. That's so sad. Oh, you know what? I didn't put this deck on my... Did not put this deck on my page. So let's do that real quick. So it's gonna be linked below the stream here. So I don't think Duress is normally very good against me, except in this exact situation where we already have it in our hands. Let's go paw. You know, sometimes you just have your things when you need them. That's magic. All right. We even had the Pyroblast set up for it too. We're gonna wait until 6 and play the Mole Drifter with Pyroblast up. We would like to draw 2 cards. Mole Drifter, not as much as we would like to not let him draw cards. Alright, well, he gets to Mole Drifter, we get to Mole Drifter. Let's just Oprah style, everybody gets to Mole Drifter. Instantly punished for burning the Galvanic Blast. I almost said this is bad if we draw Firebolt, and then we drew Firebolt. Just... Whoops. That's probably still fine. The Hydroblasts in the board are expensive. I think the Hydroblasts are like $10 a pop or something. I guess he's gonna get to replay his Mole Drifter at some point anyway, so cycle. Glenhawk's not bad. Let's just pick up a Prophetic Prism. Draw a card. I'd like to pick up this card right here. Basically, this is a 3-mana 2/2 flyer that draws a card when it comes into play, which is very playable. I'm just playing a collection of lists that I beat. In my first match in this league, I beat Affinity, so I don't think you really need Mox Monkeys. None of the deck lists I play on here will ever have, outside of like explicitly stating that we're playing a budget deck because we're trying to build a budget deck. Like the rest of the decks I play, money is not a concern. We're playing optimal cards, not cheap cards. God bless these cycling lands. Get all 3 births. Very good. Sack that one. He does have access to Shrivel. Skyfisher's not bad. Not bad. And then counter this one. Exclude, maybe? No problem, Nuclear. Yeah, you have a deprive. Deal. Play a land out. Chip the turn here? Yeah, just chip the turn. Echoing Decay. I'm going to Galvanic Blast the one he's decaying. Keep those in play. Galvanic Blast isn't getting much better than that. Maybe we get lucky and find our second curse. That would be great. It's possible I'm supposed to be holding... Yeah, I think I'm going to hold the next land I draw in my hand because he plays Rakshasa Secrets. Although I think he boarded those out against us, but I'm not sure. We're going to O-ring this Muldrifter just so he can stop Mortuary Miring it back. Alright. Slows this clock down significantly too. Yep, that's exactly what Galblast said. It was 1 red, make 2 1/1s. And again, I'm gonna... He might not have Rakshasa Secret in his deck, but like it's pretty minimal to play around it here. We don't need this land in play. If he wants to attack me for 1 and let me attack him for 1, that's fine. Deep Analysis, sure. You're obnoxious, toddler. Yeah, it's like, opponent just doesn't have a clock, so like, these curses should definitely be in the board. This matchup seems miserable without them. Like, curses are a way we can steal an otherwise bad matchup. Chainer's Edict, my goblet. Yep, fair play. Raven's Crime, target counterspell. That card's sweet. Seems pretty good. I'm not sure that that card is better than Curse though. Like Curse just seems much better. Well, if we had a series of draws to pick, it's definitely those. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. No! No, opponent, don't dribble me. We tried so hard. We tried so hard. We had such good draws. We had such good draws. Oh. Oh no. Just the unluckiest. Alright. Well, this is too slow, but, you know, we'll play it. Might as well. Rawr. Our card, unfortunately, is not so unbeatable. It's just getting double countered anyways. This card just doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think Curse just gets countered. Like, we're bringing in four Pyroblast to fight over these things. Send a message. Bajuka Bog him. Let the Graveyard Exile here before we concede. GG's opponent. I'm all about sending messages, you know? Just communicate clearly. Just let them know what's up. Attacking with the 0 power creatures, you know. Just making sure we're all clear who's boss. You're right, we would have. Yeah, the duress on turn 3 was very, very good. And I think it was turn 4 or 5 actually. I think it was turn 5 actually, because we missed a few land drops there. Which, you know, it's gonna happen. We're only playing 22 lands, so we do have a number of cantrips, but 22 lands, you're gonna miss land drops on occasion. Howdy, Alan. Good games. That matchup seems pretty miserable for the deck that I'm playing, which is why there's 2 curses in the board. I would assume. He was in fact our last opponent. Same MTGO name. Checks out. Alchemy is better. Bold words. Teachings is a heck of a drug. Waiting to queue. Hi-ho the Cheerio, waiting to queue. How are you doing, toddler? Is it about nap time? Maybe one more match and then you're going to bed? Appreciate everyone hanging out here this afternoon. Got about 200 people, it looks like. There's a lot of great people streaming, a lot of different things you be doing on Thursday afternoon, so I appreciate you choosing to spend your time here. You want to come sit on Dad's lap, toddler? Want your trains? Yeah. You got trains. Play with the trains on the table. Yeah, teachings doesn't even play 4 teachings, so. Why you take so long to queue, Pauper? I mean, the Gitrog monster is really sweet. That's definitely a build around me card. There we go. We got one. Alan, that's like the best kind of magic. It's the purest like slow grindy beatdown. Show him who's boss with your expensive card magic. Well, that's sad. Have to mulligan. This hand just has so much value in it. But I'm mulliganed as well. I'm going to keep this one with a scry on the draw. My opponent also went to 5, so we got 2 looks at a land. Bottom. Basically, we have 3 looks at a land because we get scry, draw step, draw step. Turn 1 Shimmering Grotto probably means Tron. I have no idea how this deck's Tron matchup is. Opponent, oh, look at that. Opponent missed their land drop. We hit it like a professional. Yeah, looking like Tron. I'm just going to send the bolt upstairs to send a message. Make sure our opponent understands who's boss. I think we just want to get pressure on the table as quickly as possible in this matchup. So I'm going to Skyfisher and pick up a land. I think I'm going to Boiler Works and pick up the other one. Yeah. And we're putting ourselves behind a land, but opponent missed land drops, and we just need to like beat him down. That's the plan is kill him before he has lands. So I think that's better than like dirtling and drawing a card with this. If this deck can't beat Tron, we probably just shouldn't be playing it. Tron feels like it's like the litmus test for modern, for Pauper. Like if you can't keep up with the Tron deck, you probably should just be doing something else. Miss another land drop. Miss another land drop. Rats. And the stirrings too. His hand's very good once he had lands. No stirrings. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need. That's all I need is a chance. Let's play. Oh, my prophetic prisms don't match. I'm such a heathen. And even realize they didn't match. Cycle this. Play this out. Attack for 2. He's down to 13. This has him at a virtual 9. Fangren Marauder's going to kill us pretty quick. I'm aware. We just could probably never beat that card. I mean, Tron's just like good against all of the mid-rangey creature decks, right? That's just like how Tron works in general. It's how ramp decks work in Magic in general. So we hit him to 11 here. We cast this Muldrifter, and then he's technically dead to our reach next turn if all of our creatures live, and just like he doesn't play Fangren Marauder and everything goes according to plan. So if everything goes exactly right, we kill our opponent next turn, you know? That's Fangren Marauder that I've been talking about. Yeah, but like what people don't realize is when they talk about like the Chainer's Edict, okay. When they talk about like the online metagame for things like Pauper and things like Modern, what the online metagame really is these are the good decks in the format. The people who are playing online are playing the decks that are good. They're not just playing the cute deck that they like playing that everyone at your LGS plays. Trickery. That's one of those in the main deck. Again, just copy the list. Let's filter this into Glint Hawk. Yes, pick up Wellspring. Replay Wellspring. Play Furnace. Just a Muldrifter. We can beat that. We can beat a Muldrifter team. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're doing it. Maybe. Spend your mana. That would be great. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. It only took him missing his second land drop, but we're going to get him. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Take the shotgun and just blast him. Blast him with the shotgun. Blast him. Alright. Got him. Are we supposed to bring in Curse of the Bloody Tome? I feel like we could just never beat Fangren Marauder without Curse of the Bloody Tome. I feel like this is true. And like I have to bring this in. This is probably a Bojuka Bog matchup as well, and some number. Am I just like boarding the same way I boarded against the Curse of Deathhold deck, or the Curse of Deathhold the control deck last round? I think we are actually. Explain to me how my deck full of 2-power creatures beats Fangren Marauder without Curse of Deathhold. Someone explain that to me, and I will not bring in the Curse of Deathhold. If someone can make an argument for how my deck full of 12 2-power creatures beats a Fangren Marauder, I will not bring in the Curse of Deathhold. If someone could do that, I will skip bringing them in. But until that moment happens, they don't draw it. Yep, I think that's the line. Just fade it for the whole game. Yep, I mean. Okay, but you exile it, and they've already gained 5 to 10 points of life. Keep the burn in. This just doesn't seem like a good plan. I mean, but I mean, like, Curse. If they're racing, we can't race them. Like, we have to play. I feel like we have to play the control game. Yeah, I feel like we can live a very long time, and we can block a lot, and we can exile his big giant idiots. And, like, we don't even really care about Fangren Marauder. Yeah, I think this is the plan. This is the plan I want. No, you can't. Yeah, I think this is. They have Rolling Thunder. You can't solve versus try. I mean, so we could bring in Hydroblast. Like, this is real. Like, this is a card we have access to. We can get rid of their Fetties. You are just wrong. All right, I'm gonna bring in 3 Hydroblasts too. Fine. Submit. And the people that are telling me, like, we're supposed to race them, you're telling me that the matchup is bad for me in the first place. So if it's bad the way you're doing it, and it's also bad the way I'm doing it, we're not losing anything. So, like, might as well try this other game plan. Like, what if we mill their Thunders? Like, who knows? I'm not saying that my plan is good, but I also think that the plan that you're pitching me is bad. So I'm willing to accept that they're both bad. I'd believe that they're both bad. This hand plays Curse of the Bloody Tome on turn 3. Let's do it. The control plan with Curse of the Bloody Tome is a real game plan against Fangren Marauder, which is a 4 of in their Magic deck. What you guys are saying is race them and keep my Lightning Bolts and all my Galvanic Blasts in my deck. That's not a real plan against Fangren Marauder. That's how they play Fangren Marauder and then you click concede. Have a timeout. I've already explained to you why I disagree with you. And it's fine. You're allowed to disagree with me. But what I'm saying is your plan is also bad. So like telling me that my plan is bad when your plan is also bad. If they're all bad, let's just try something new. If they're all bad, there's very little risk in trying something new. I feel like we could get negated here. Do these decks, like, he played Chainer's Edict last game, right? Like, so these games could be playing... These games are just, like... I feel like he could be playing, like, actual anything in his deck. So I'm just going to wait a turn to play the Curse with Pyroblast up, like just in case. The downside here is having they don't play negate. Sure, maybe your version doesn't play negate, but like he's got Chainer's Edicts in his deck, so like could actually just have literal anything. This is just Ulamog's Crusher and then we die. Just like super dead to Ulamog's Crusher, and like having Curse of the Bloody Tome in my deck is irrelevant because he had turn 4 Ulamog's Crusher. So unless we draw one of our journeys here, we'll just concede. Okay, we'll concede. We'll be on the play for the third game. Just never beating Ulamog's Crusher there. And you see, like, there's 4 people in chat telling me all Tron lists play 2 Edicts. I've played 60 or 70 matches of Pauper online now, and I've played against Tron probably a dozen times. I've never gotten Chainer's Edict before this match. So... You know, the fact that you're saying they all play Chainer's Edict, you're definitely wrong. Because I've milled them out with Curse of the Bloody Tome in the Teachings deck and never seen a Chainer's Edict. So that's definitely not correct that they all play it. We did not skip a land drop. We played a Karu. Karus bounce a land to your hand when they come into play and then make 2 mana. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, that I believe you, that Chainer's Edict is popular in Tron. It seems like it's a very powerful card, and they make a lot of mana. What I am saying is that it's not in all of them, because I've played the matchup a number of times now, and I've never played against a Chainer's Edict. And again, like, variance goes in both directions with that, but don't make like statements that are ultimatums like that. We're just like, well, they all do it, when they definitely don't all do it, because you can't know that they all do it. And again, if he just plays Ulamog's Crusher here, we're under the gun and need to draw a Journey or an Oblivion Ring right away. I mean, Gitrog Monster, not close. If you check my articles on mtgcardmarket.com, you can see a number of decks that I'm looking at and cards that I've been talking about that I like. I believe you. I'm not calling you a liar. I understand that a lot of them play it. What I'm telling you is that 74% is nowhere near all of them. It's nowhere close to all of them. I will give you most of them play Chainer's Edict. It's probably very true that most of them play Chainer's Edict. Definitely the case. Most of them do. Not anywhere near all of them. It's not even close to 100%, which I'm sure most of you understand. We're literally playing against a deck that makes mana that's every color of the rainbow, and there's no limit to which cards they can play. Yeah. Remember that negate that they definitely don't play and they definitely didn't bring in against us? Woo! Twitch chat plays Magic. God bless you, opponent, for making me right. God bless you. And look, here's the Fangren Marauder we can't beat if we have a bunch of Galvanic Blasts and Lightning Bolts in our deck. Oh, that's gross. He gets to kill my lands? I liked my lands, opponent. And he gains life? That's not fair. I liked that land a lot. I was pretty fond of it. I used it to cast my spells. Alright, well, I was going to play this Muldrifter, but then he took my lands away. Which was unfortunate. I liked my lands. Gonna filter this to white. I'm gonna pick a bigger Wellspring here. Gonna play another Core Skyfisher. Pick up Prophetic Prism. Play Secluded Step. Tap Forest, untap Forest, pass priority. Yep. Just don't Marauder me, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't own any of the only that's I don't own any of them. I only own Kiki Court on Magic Online. Card Hoarder, which is one of my sponsors that you see here next to the no, pause it work that way. I'm really bad at pointing. So Card Hoarder, you see here at the bottom of the stream, loans me cards for all of the decks that I play here on stream for the most part. Lightning Bolt. Sure. Who do we talk to set up Twitch Plays Moto, right? Look, I'm just a guy with 2 kids trying to pay the bills. That's all I can say. I'm not saying I'm not a sellout, but that's my defense. Alright, Hydroblast means we're not just dead to a Rolling Thunder. The negate in the graveyard was fantastic here. That's just like, that's delicious. Just taking another lick for 5 here. Ulamog's Crusher is pretty good. It lets us sacrifice the Ichor Wellspring. So we're not just dead to it this time because it came much later, but we're not in a great spot here. This deck's got a lot of dirtle in it, Zach. You are not wrong. This deck's got a lot of dirtle. So I think we're playing Muldrifter out here. Yeah. We need some chump blockers. Some chump bumps here. Here's a chump bump. So we can't... I don't think we want to Kuldotha this turn because because we want to hold up Hydroblast for a Rolling Thunder next turn. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. We do have to discard, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. I think we're going to bin... Skyfisher since it's the most expensive. I could bin Galvanic Blast. Although if we draw a second blast, it lets us kill the Ulamog Crusher, but we only have one other blast in the deck. So yeah, I'm gonna bin the Galvanic Blast actually. We've got 3 Journeys and 1 Oblivion Ring. Is this the Rolling Thunder for Infinite? And then he's got just enough mana to counter Magicus here. And unfortunately, we can't hold Hydroblast and Power Blast up here, so we're probably just dead. Counter target spell if it's red. And we're 1 land short here. So I could have not played the Mull Drifter out and like just played out other things here. But look at this! A second to negate, Twitch chat. Get wrecked. All right. Definitely 100% doesn't play it. Has 2 of them. All right. Sweet. So we tried there. Like, I think this deck wants, like, one of the things when I was looking at the deck list is I think we want another Journey or possibly another Oblivion Ring somewhere in the 75. So I would believe that we want more of those cards. You still, and I mean, you're welcome to think that. Like, our opponent finished that game at almost 40 life and could have gained a lot more. I will, like I said, I'm willing to accept that the curse plan isn't great, but I definitely think your plan is also bad. I think all of the options suck. I think all of the options suck. Just like that's what I'm gonna put out there. I have to change a diaper really quick, so I will be right back. Hey, come here. Don't fight me. Oh, you little poop monster. You're being very good. Thank you. You got your trains? Poop monster's a train fan? You want to stream? You taking over? Dad should go take a break? You're going to get him? How about you sit on Dad's lap? You're fine. You're fine. Alright, sorry for the brief intermission. Welcome back. It was minute 30 seconds. Not bad. Pit crew diaper stop. Thanks for running trivia, Zach. You're the best. Thanks for hanging out, folks, through the short intermission. I know a lot of times people tend to leave. Oh, we lost 50 people for a 2-minute diaper change, but that's fine. Those 50 people suck. You guys are great. The worst part about this time of year is that I have a 2-year-old myself. My oldest is a little bit over 2. He turned 2 in February. And then my youngest is almost a year. Man, I'm so wrong. You are banned from the channel. Goodbye. We talked about we talked about why I did what I did, and you can get out. You don't want to interact with people like the suburbs on the internet, because people like that are only looking to pick a fight, and just like it's this dark pit of anger and being annoyed to interact with annoying people like that. Yeah, they sleep pretty good for the most part. Like, Jake will probably go down for his afternoon nap here in about an hour. Or, yeah, probably about a half hour or so. This hand's kind of medium. We'll keep this. Alright, well, we're going to electric around. I was going to say, this card seems really medium in the main deck, but... Alright, kills the Delver just like everything else, I guess. I had to scroll back and check the backlog and make sure he was actually being a wanker, but he was being a wanker, so we'll just ban him and get him out of the channel. People get so offended when you disagree with them. It's like it's okay to be wrong. It really is. Like, we talk about when I'm wrong on here all the time. Make lots of mistakes. Magic is a hard and complex game. But if you're gonna tell me I'm wrong, you gotta have a reason for it. You gotta have a reason. Oh, look at this. We get to play our second artifact land. We get to play Prophetic Prism. We get to Galvanic Blast this guy. That's so good. If this matchup isn't good for our deck, this deck's probably has to be unplayable. I mean, I'm just not playing into their counterspells. That just doesn't sound like a good plan. I would prefer not to play into his counterspells. Hey, Protomon, what's going on, mate? You know what? It's possible I'm supposed to lead on the Glinthawk there, because he's very likely going to counter regardless of which one I play, and Core Skyfisher's stats are a little better. So that's probably a sequencing mistake there. How's it going, Efro? Occasionally these decks play mana leaks. Let's play a land out before we jam this Prophetic Prism in here. Someone asked about the 4 Hydroblasts and 4 Pyroblasts on the board. There's mono blue and mono red decks in Pauper, so it's basically just like a bunch of 1-mana interaction for those types of decks. And again, I'm going to wait to bolt this till... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flashback Firebolt on this. That sounds great. And then if he counters this, we'll just Oh, that's gross. Oh, look at this savage misplay. Look at how savage my misplay was. That, I just, you know, just talking here, didn't play a land out, just like, hashtag all the mistakes. See, that was a giant mistake that I just made. If I would have played this out, we could have bolted the Spell Stutter Sprite in response to this trigger, and then both of his guys would have died. And now he has a 1/1 left over. Like on a scale of 1 to awful, it was definitely close to awful. Just super, super punished. Yeah, that's a good draw. I'll start by cycling this. In case we had like Igor Wellspring here. Lone Missionary. Boros Garrison's actually going to let us pick up this this secluded step, which is great. Alright, so we get to go ahead and play Lone Missionary here, and then we'll play Boros Garrison, pick up the step. I guess we'll see if we had a 1-drop here. Okay, trip the turn. I think we'll just leave Glenhawk back, keeps his guys at bay. We don't, I guess if he has a Ninja of the Deep Hours now, he can get it off, which kind of sucks. I'm not sure. We'll see how this Pauper deck goes. If this Pauper deck ends up being poop soup, we might play some Hex. Actually, I'm waiting on cards on Hex. So if I get cards for the new deck I'm working on or waiting on. Yeah, so like now we're getting like super punished for our misplay again here because we get to eat this Spell Stutter Sprite here, but like now his Ninja of the Deep Hours gets to connect. He gets to draw a card. Just like getting further and further behind because of that one turn I didn't play the land out before flashing back the Firebolt. Gosh. Ugh, that card's legal, yep. And now he has a Sprite. I'm going to write Sprite down so I don't... Sprite's probably going to get us at some point because this deck's all cheap cards, but... So what do we boarded in this matchup? Obviously all the Pyroblasts. Electricry's probably fine. Journey might be fine. So like up to 6. And kept his cards. I mean, Magic in general can be punishing. Alright. Discard we can cast. I guess we should play it off of this, because Moto sucks. Spell. Spell. Worth didn't listen. Alright, I guess we crack him with Glenhawk. And again, I think that turn I talked about where I played the Skyfisher before the Glenhawk, I'm pretty sure he was just going to counter whatever we played that turn, so we should have led on the Glenhawk, so that way Skyfisher was more likely to resolve. Because the 2/3 blocks into the Deep Hours. Do they play Unsummon? I don't think he can bounce this. He has Vapor Snag. Okay, I should probably know that they play that card. Now he gets to hit us with Ninja again and draw another card. Sometimes Vapor Snag. Yeah, like I said, still learning my way around the format. So I guess I'll leave both of these back if this resolves. I'd rather Wellspring resolves than this because this doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, man, that's fine. Snap. That's a card. All right, and he has Spell Stutter Sprite in his hand, so we can't just bolt this Ninja. We'll get sprited. Gonna snag this. He's gonna snag on his turn while I still have sprayed up. That's the smart play. Yeah. 10 to 1, he snags this before he attacks here. He almost made a mistake. Yeah, I'm not sure that we can win anymore. I guess when he goes to Sprite us next turn, he has to have a second counterspell because we get to bolt the Sprite. We're playing Pauper and maybe Hex. We'll see. If we won for this league, we're probably not going to play more of this deck. Spire Golem, yep. Alright, another one of those is pretty good. We get to play this. He's going to Spell Stutter Sprite it. In response to Sprite's trigger, we're going to do what we should have done last time. And bolt the Sprite. He's got Dispel. Ugh. We'll concede. If he doesn't have Dispel, Glint Hawk gets to bounce Ichor Wellspring, and then we draw a card. And then we play Glint Hawk and bounce Ichor Wellspring and draw a card. So really, Glint Hawk is a 3-mana card that cantrips. So super, super playable. Alright. Alright. He has a Vapor Snag, maybe? Saving his ninja. Unsummon. Wow, he's got a lot of bounce cards. Okay. So he's definitely on 4 Vapor Snag if there's an unsummon in his deck, too. We're going to bounce this Ichor Wellspring again and draw another card. What would be an ideal draw here? Like Galvanic Blast to kill the Spire Golem? They haven't played a land yet this turn. And we're going to double block the Spire Golem because if we don't block it, he gets to Ninja of the Deep Hours. And if he's got... Okay, sweet. He doesn't have another unsummon, so that's good for us. That's pretty good. I'm going to lead on this in case we hit like a Bolt or a Galvanic Blast to interact with a Spell Stutter Sprite that's possible. And again, going to lead on this again for the same reason. No one. Yeah, exactly. Like, so many ultimatums. Just like, nobody plays that. That card doesn't see play. Opponent plays it. And they're just like, oh no, how'd that happen? Nobody plays that card. If we get Mana Leaked here, I'm going to feel pretty bad about myself. If we don't get Mana Leaked. Okay. Yep. This is still game 1. Like I said, I have to imagine that this matchup is good for us. If this matchup isn't good for us, this deck probably has no good matchups. Like, just out of all the things. So I have to think that, like, looking at these decks on paper, I would have to, if I looked at these decks on paper, I would look at this and go, this deck probably beats up Delver. I actually have yet to play against a mono black deck on here, and I think I'm 50 or 60 matches in at this point. That number is obviously an approximation, but I think it's these 6. What do I not like? Kuldotha Rebirth seems medium. Going wide isn't great. I think we're beating him down with just like a singleton threat. Lone Missionary doesn't seem very good. I don't think we need that in this matchup. Just like running him out of threat seems like a great plan. Is electricity something I am interested in doing in this matchup? This might not be true. I might not be interested in playing electricity post board. We're just like bringing in 5 more removal spells. This is cute at killing multiple sprites, but yeah, I think I'm just cutting those. I'll leave it up because I know there's a little bit of delay. If we have any suggestions for things I could cut to work the electricity in, I'm willing to talk about that. But I think this is where I want to be in life. I mean, they definitely keep in their fairies. So I'm not saying electricity is bad. You need to answer my question. What is electricity better than? Because we can make arguments for a lot of these cards in the sideboard. What cards in the main deck is electricity better than? So that's the argument you need to make here. I'm willing to accept arguments. I mean, looking at it at a glance, how the matchup's played out, I feel like electricity is not better than any of these cards in my main deck right now. So you've got 60 seconds. Make an argument for what electricity is better than. Better than O-Ring. So O-Ring guaranteed kills a threat. It kills Spire Golem. Without Oblivion Ring, we only have 3 answers to Spire Golem outside of double blocking. Firebolt kills Flip Delver and Ninja of the Deep Hours. Again, just like guaranteed killing their threats. So like, what's the game plan for beating a Spire Golem if we don't have these? Yeah, I'm just going to submit. I like that Overwoot. I could see trimming a Muldrifter. It does bring us a little bit threat light because like we're only at 12 threats right now. So I would be worried about being a little bit too threat light, but I could see Muldrifter going. And maybe remove 1 Wellspring, lower the need for Wellspring because of Rebirth removed. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I like Sanctifier, but I could see cutting a Wellspring for... So like maybe if we go to game 3 here, we cut Wellspring and Muldrifter for the 2 Electricries. I could see that working out. Being a reasonable choice. I'd also consider trimming a land. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I think I'd rather cut a cantrip than a land, but I could see why I would want to cut a land. I mean, you don't have to kill Ninja at instant speed. Our deck generates enough value that I think we can fight over a Ninja a lot of the time. Oh, look at this! Look at this! We wanted to board out. We wanted to board out the Oblivion Ring. That's definitely not going to happen. So I think we're going blast this now, untap, bolt it. Seems okay. Oh, you're right. It does act, but the fact that he has Stormbound Geist in his board of them in is another argument for. I think I like a couple people talked about possibly boarding out an Ichor Wellspring. Especially since we've cut. Oh shit. So the reason why I played this is basically because I'm an idiot. I had in my head that this was return any permanent to its owner's hand. It's like that's the 2/3 though. Again, third match with the deck. I had Core Skyfisher's text in my head. Hey, look, better than Electricity. Jeff is rebroadcasting. My name is not David Leavitt. I am not rebroadcasting. He is definitely watching Daniel Tiger. That's his his number one choice of kitty crack. Spell Stutter Spray is going to be annoying here. But we're going to have to get through that at some point anyways. Yeah, so we get 2 for 1 by this. Kitchen Finks 126 with the brand new... So this is still going to counter our thing. I'm aware of that. I'm just playing this other lightning bolt on it as well. Kitchen Finks 126 with the brand new subscription. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Subs are the absolute best way you can show your support for the stream. And subs and resubs work us towards our next 12-hour stream. So thank you for that. He's like the only one I know that he's like streaming constantly, and like just because he's on like mono replays. Oh, Ewok, that's a solid B+. I see Pikachu running on screen there. I appreciate the follows as well. Thank you for that. It's a ninja? Sure. Untapped land would be great. No, tapped land. Alright, I guess we're going to go ahead and journey this. Get in under a null. So if we would have hit an untapped land there, we could have flashed back to Firebolt, but Boilerworks comes into play tapped. Yeah, there's a small ban list, but the by and large, Pauper is determined by like there's cards that are legal in MTGO Pauper that have never been printed at common in Paper Magic because they were in like Vintage Masters or something like that. Galvanic Blast, we have no artifacts, so this is not a removal spell for the Spire Golem. Billy Bumbler and another with the follow. Apologies if I don't catch your username when you follow. I do appreciate the follow support. Thank you. Yeah, emotes. Yay. The children are adorable. Leave It's a guy who he basically writes the equivalent of Magic blog spam for like some... So it's some big-ish site, but basically he just like reposts Magic news. If he has Ninja here, that could be... I guess Ninja we get to Galv Blast it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and flashback Firebolt on his Miscreant. And again, another spell status right here is going to be obnoxious. Opponent has 7 cards in their hand, so this game is not going well for us. Just thinking about spriting, so we might want to save it for something better later. Yeah, he's keeping sprite up. We're going to run into sprite at some point. Yeah, he's got like 10,000 followers on Twitter, but mostly because he follows people to try and get them to follow him back, and then once they follow him back, he like unfollows them most of the time, just like... I mean, whatever. If he's making a living doing it, good for him. Like, making a living producing content ain't easy. So I understand it to a degree, but like, not for me. When you're going to make statements like that, I think it was pretty obvious to do X. If it's so obvious to do X, you need to explain why it was obvious. If you just say, no, you're wrong, You're not contributing anything useful to the discussion. You're just being irrelevant spam. So if you're going to say, hey, you did something wrong, say why I did something wrong. Just explain, articulate yourself. That's how we learn. Saying, hey, you made a mistake is useless and doesn't help anyone. Saying, hey, you made a mistake and this is why and this is what you could do better, that's very useful and helpful, and everybody learns, and learning is good. We're not going to play the Glint Hawk because I don't have an artifact, because I ran into a Spell Pierce. We're probably going to run into a Spell Pierce at some point anyways. I understand from your perspective why. Okay, so if assuming he's going to sprite the prism, playing the prism is more correct. I don't think he would sprite the prism there. The prism isn't doing anything, so I feel like he just doesn't sprite it. The only reason he would Spell Pierce the prism is because this card is getting very dead the longer this matchup goes. Alright, well, we can play the Glint Hawk out now. Maybe I'm waiting for one more piece of removal. Yeah, I'm going to wait for one more piece of removal. Like, we're at a holding pattern here on board. Alright, Nicker Wellspring. Alright, and we're going to Galv Blast the Sprite in response here. Because again... Oh, wait, shit! Oh, this was bad. This is a 2-drop. This play was bad. Well, now we're getting blown out if he has another counterspell. Which he probably does. Should have Pyroblasted the Spellstutter Sprite. Because then we'd be up a Galv Blast if he has a Dispel. Fair. And again, we're just stuck in a holding pattern now. I mean, I guess we just end up a Galv Blast and he has one more Idiot on the table. Because, like, if we go to Pyroblast, he dispels the Pyroblast and, like, he's plus a Spellstutter Sprite and we're plus a Galvanic Blast. But the Galvanic Blast is probably... So, like, there was definitely the wrong sequence to do, but we end up in almost the same situation, only we've spent less mana. I mean, if we had Electrickery there, we would have just gotten Dispelled. And then he would have played one of the other counterspells he has. Like, his hand is, like, literally a fistful of counterspells right now, so... And look, he has another counterspell. So, like, if we would have had Electrickery there, it would have not resolved. Huh, you know what we could do here? We could Skyfisher the Journey and give him his Ninja back and Journey the Stormbound Geist just because then we have some 2/3s. That doesn't seem awful. He's only got one card left in his hand. I think I like that. This goes bad if he, like, has Vapor Snag and draws another Vapor Snag, but, like... Yeah, that's true too. So we're going to turn this Journey to our hand, and then we're going to replay Journey and take the Stormbound Geist out. And this might be a little bit too aggressive, but... the fact that we've got 2/2/3s makes me feel okay about this. Okay. I do think I like, but honestly, like even Muldrifter sounds really good here. Like we draw Muldrifter, we probably like win this game, right? Yeah, I'm not even sure I want the Electrickery in all honesty. Oh god, we drew a card. It was so good. And then 5. All right. Well, let's do this. We are up a game too. This is game 2, and we are up a game. I would like to use this because I can. Didn't just throw it away. Oh yeah, this is the game we threw the Glenhawk away on turn 3 too. So, you know, some mistakes were made. All right, let's start by trying to. I guess I should try. I should draw cards first in case he's got 2 counter spells. I'm gonna try and kill the Spire Golem first. If killing the Spire Golem works, then I'm gonna Pyroblast this. But I really need the Spire Golem dead so we can start punching through. All right. So now that the Spire Golem is dead, we're gonna counter target spell if it is blue. I mean, the opponent's not flooding. The game has just gone long. We both have lots of lands on both sides of the table. Like, opponent is not flooded. I hate when people do that a lot. They're like, oh man, I flooded out. It's like, no, you didn't flood. It's just the game went long and you've drawn half your deck, so you've seen half your lands. Ah! Alright, so this attack means he has another ninja, I assume? That one. Even if he only plays 16 lands, like, he's at 12 lands and, like, 20, almost 30, almost 40 cards. It's, like, well within 1 to 2 standard deviations of the mean. Like, okay, we're 2-2 now. Slow and steady. Alright, Toddler, it's nap time. Say bye-bye to the screen. Say bye-bye, I'm not happy to go to bed. All right, it's queued up. 1 minute and 8 seconds, pretty close to the 1 minute estimate. My wife made homemade, what are these, cake balls on a stick? They're delicious. They're covered in melted salt and caramel. Super wonderful. So I intentionally muted there, so you didn't have to listen to me chew. So there's nothing wrong with your audio. Nobody wants to listen to me chew. Howdy, Ryan. And howdy, Shazdoom. I saw you said hello. I was chewing. Apologies. All right, teachings again. So we're going to take this galvanic blast and just send it upstairs, I think. Oh, Delver. Okay, so now we have to save this. I'm pretty sure that means Delver. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that means Delver. I think this is mental note and thought scour usually means blue black, like Delver or Mag Angler type stuff. AK is hot. Okay, that's pretty good. 3/3 flyer for one. So we're gonna go ahead and play Furnace, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this guy. I really need to hotkey mute instead of having to reach over and press it. Thicker Wellspring, there's some value. We drew Journey's pretty good. Accumulate Knowledge, draw 2. Powerful. Alright. Kuldotha the Ichor Wellspring feels so good. Feels so good. Resolve too, that's great. I'm going to bounce a Great Furnace. I'm just going to ship the turn here. Another AK. The value. Definitely bringing in the Bog in this matchup. Starting to understand the Bog more and more the more we play. And again, this is why, like, when people build deck lists, or when you take deck lists from someone else, you should always play their deck list basically card for card when you start, because they're playing the cards they played for a reason. It doesn't matter if you think you're smarter than whoever built the deck. If they built the deck and they did well with it in at least one thing, if they did well with it in multiple things, you should definitely copy their deck card for card before you change anything and play, you know, a dozen or even 24 matches with it before you get a feel for it. I'd say thank you to the 200 people that hung out through my brief break run and might get upstairs. I know people tend to vacate when that happens, and y'all are the best for hanging out. Here's Delver and this. All right, well, this is pretty reasonable for us. We get to go ahead and Electrickery this guy, and then we get to Galvanic Blast this guy next turn. We have Great Furnace in play. Let's go ahead and cycle this Forgotten Cave. So I don't normally attend Grand Prix because they're an expensive. Hey, Brett, what's going on, man? That's actually Brett, right? I have a sword. So I don't normally attend Grand Prix because they're expensive to attend compared to SCG Opens. Like, even the entry fee is almost double. Like, it costs $80 to play in Grand Prix Charlotte. But people keep asking me if I'm going to go because it's a modern Grand Prix, and I do enjoy playing modern when modern's not all messed up like it is right now. So hopefully the next ban list is going to fix that. So I figured if we can raise donations to get me to Charlotte, then it won't be expensive, and I do enjoy playing modern. So it seems worth trying, and it looks like, we're over a quarter of the way there and still have over a month out, so probably going to get there. Just like the thing you need to consider when you're going to a Grand Prix versus an Open is that, like, the record that you need to top 8 most SCG Opens only min caches at Grand Prix. So going 12-3 at a Grand Prix gets you min cash. Going 12-3 at an Open almost always puts you into top 8. Like, there's some 12-3s that miss, but usually it's half or more that make it at that record. Rats. Another counterspell. That's unfortunate. Maybe I should have led on... Yeah, I think I was supposed to lead on a Rebirth here to bait this. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was super awful. I was supposed to float white and sacrifice an Ancient Den there. That could bite us. And not only is it modern, but it's an SCG run Grand Prix, which means, like, normally Grand Prix are also run very poorly on average. Like, especially in the Midwest, like Pez and Pastimes are both, like, known for running miserable events. So, I mean, like, Batterskull is worth $35. So that means in actuality, what? It's actually worth $17 at buy list, if that. When you talk about what cards are worth, you want to talk about, like, liquid cash value on them. And I mean, to be fair, again, when you calculate the cost of an Open, the playmat at most Opens, I sold Tassipur playmats for like $35 a pop. I've sold regional playmats for $35 a pop. Like, and again, when I looked at this deck list, I felt like I wanted at least one more way in the 75 to interact with cards like Big Fish. He's got 2 removal spells here. He probably just has another fish, is what's actually happening here. There's like another threat that can block these goblins because he's obviously losing the race on board. Yeah, I went to Grand Prix Pittsburgh, and Grand Prix Pittsburgh, they averaged, like, I think it was like 85 or 90-minute rounds. It was not a good scene, to say the least. So I'm gonna ship with my goblins here, and if he blocks, which I'm assuming he is, I'm gonna double firebolt this afterwards. Man, I suppose I could just double fireball his dome too. Agony warp. Okay, so he's taking 3 here. Yeah, if you're willing to pay shipping, I'll send you a playmat to wherever. Just international shipping is expensive. I'm out of Tassipers. I've got a bunch of kitchen links, and I think I have everyone except Tassipur right now. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, I think actually we're just like gonna be sending the shotgun upstairs here. Especially if this resolves, like sending the shotgun upstairs sounds great. Yeah, we're gonna return Ancient Den to our hand. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Tranquil Cove, which actually buys us an entire another turn against him alpha striking. Yeah, okay. And this is technically like if he ships with both and then doesn't have a follow-up blocker. Tassipur, so SCG for a bunch of their open playmats has done what they call their parody playmats, which is they take a popular Magic card and they make a parody of it, like Tassipur is a cat Tassiger. Another fish. That's rough. All right, this could be literal anything. Hoovis, be aware that anything you post in Twitch chat gets seen by everyone, because my Twitch chat is the one that's being displayed. So what's the out here? The out is I have to block at least one of his things. So if I ship with 3 of these, he blocks 1 and takes 2 and goes to 4. It takes 2 and goes to 8, a virtual 4 with this. We're already through 2 Galvanic Blasts, so I think the best shot to win here is... I think we're just sending the Firebolt upstairs. So we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah, so now if we draw Firebolt next turn or Galvanic Blast, we can kill him. On a Grim Llama-mancer playmat. That's not one of the open playmats, unfortunately. So they do have extra parity mats that aren't from the open, so. Chose not to shuffle. That's probably not good for us. He shipped with everything. I'm only blocking 1. And if he drew a counterspell here, we are just dead. We're basically on the 0 outer. If he drew a counterspell. Delver. Alright. We got draws. We got draws. That is not one of them. I guess this technically gives us redraws. No, it doesn't, right? Because we have to chump block all of these next turn. I guess, have we already used both our Kuldolthas? We have used both of our Kuldolthas, so yeah, we're on the 0 outer. I guess Muldrifter could have been an out, actually, so it wasn't a 0 outer. We could have, like, Muldriftered into double Galvanic Blast, so we did have outs to win there, but they weren't coming up, so we didn't get punished. Howdy, cookie. Yeah, just let me know, Protomon. Feel free to message me on Facebook or Twitter, set something up. Seems like a matchup for Journey and Pyroblast. Seems like another matchup where Lone Missionary is kind of poopy. Oh, Trickery is definitely coming out in this one. Bog seems good, like we said. Can maybe cut a land if we're... Cut one of the cycle lands. Yeah, we definitely want Journey. Like I said, I think I want 5 of this effect in the 75. Hard to play this deck again. Kuldotha Rebirth is okay at... I don't know if I love this card against all of his counter magic, though. You can trim a Prism and a Cycle Artifact. I could see that. I think I want to just, like, cut one of these and one of these. I like the reach, though, and, like, killing Delver is pretty important. I think this is the configuration I like. Kuldotha is good against Edict. That's fair. Maybe this isn't a 4 Pyroblast matchup. Maybe this is like a 3 Pyroblast matchup. I guess hand looks reasonable. As far as playmats go, message me on private channels. We want to talk about it on stream. We can work it out. Probably, I think a lot of the mats go for somewhere between $25 and $35, depending on which artwork they are. You board in a 5th Journey. Yeah, we only have 4 in the 75 right now. So definitely wouldn't mind one more of those. This hand is a little soft to a fish. I guess we can like double spell down a fish, but it's not great. I guess if I get Force Spike there, I feel real bad about myself, but I'd kind of like to play a tap land if we draw it. Like this could be a Kuldotha right now. That's fair. Trim 1 Firebolt, make this Kuldotha. And like we're bringing in Pyroblast that kills Delver too. I like that. We get a game 3, we'll do that. Chose not to shuffle. Big fish, gross. Gross. My primary function is a stay-at-home dad. I derive a majority of my income producing content for Magic and Hex, and I do technical writing as well. Manage a few open source projects, and then do some freelance writing on the side for software development type stuff. I don't generally play in Wizards events, so I am not qualified for the Pro Tour. I play like 1 Grand Prix a year occasionally. I played 2 Grand Prix last year. I played 1 in January and then 1 in September. Goblin plus Galv Blast kills fish. That's really, yep. You're definitely correct. I'm glad I left 1 Rebirth in, but there should definitely be 2 in the deck. Big fish. Only thing bigger than the fish is a wiggly worm. Wiggly worm. feel like both of our decks are just like more answers than threats decks. Yeah, that was fantastic. Again, just want more of this type of effect in my deck. That's all I want out of life is more Oblivion Rings. The open source project runs on donations, so any of the donations that we take in that don't need to be spent covering operating costs for like servers and stuff get to do things like pay some of my internet bill. You're right, though, that it does not pay a lot. What I do for open source projects, though, because I work on open source projects and manage some stuff, I have a job for a tech website producing tech content. I'm going to play the Ichor Wellspring out first here and see if we hit a Journey, which we did not. So we're going to go ahead and make red and then 2 for 1 this guy. So blast it, bolt it. The blue-red Fiend deck really isn't something that I really want to be doing in life. I just like drawing a lot of cards, so like value type decks. Like the deck our opponent's playing, Blue Black Delver, something I could see myself playing. I just want to like dirtle a little bit, and, like kill our opponent eventually. See Pikachu on screen there. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Follows and subs are the 2 best ways you can show your support for the stream. So if you're enjoying the constructed content here, I'd appreciate if you use one or both those buttons below. Yeah, Bobocat. I mean, I wrote it for myself because it was something I wanted to be able to see, and I'm glad other people really get some use out of it. Another Journey's a good draw. Feeling pretty good about our position right now. He's got a lot of cards in his hand, but so do we. We tried the Acid Trip deck actually, and was not very good. We did try. I guess we played like an off version. We played a 4-color variant that 5-0 League, and the 4-color variant was not good. Yeah, Cody, things are going swell. Life's great. Magic's great. Pauper's great. Another big fish. Stormboundgeist. Yeah, Tron's a deck I want to try at some point too. The Tron decks are super grindy in this format. Man, I really want to not evoke one of these, but I feel like he's probably going to counter it anyways, and this way we can fight over it with Pyroblast. And he might just let it resolve just because it's being evoked. I've not tried Affinity. Affinity's more explode and less grind, so I don't really think that's what I'm looking to do. And he didn't have another counterspell there to fight over it, which should mean that this Muldrifter is resolving next turn, which should put us firmly in the driver's seat for this game. Yeah, take 3. No locks. See Pikachu on screen there yet again. A couple times there. Some more followers. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate the support. Big fish. Yep, that's fine. Big fish going on a journey. I would like to return an artifact. I'll return that one. You have to go ahead and cycle the step. We're winning the race on board, too. Yep, that's fine. Oh, crap. I forgot to cycle this. I just clicked past it. Apologies. That was just a mistake. Ooh, and then... Oh, I've got a prophetic prism, so it doesn't matter. I can filter that. Say I tapped wrong, but it doesn't matter. I'm not sure what Angelic Purge does. When you talk about cards, put them in chat. What does that do? I'm just playing someone else's list verbatim, like I've said a couple times now. I don't make changes to deck lists that have done well without playing them and getting a feel for them first. We're not double blocking because he could just blow us out with a removal spell. That's probably fine. Journey's not bad. Firebolt this guy. Journey your blocker. Do I want to Muldrifter? Yeah, I kind of do. I think because I have another one, I just want to evoke this one here, especially while he's tapped out. And like maybe I'm supposed to lead on this because it might bait him, but the fact that I am evoking it instead of casting it, well, it could send off a flag. Ugh. Ugh. I haven't played a land yet this turn either, so I guess that's okay. I get to play this. Bounce a gain life land. So we were in a good position. Now we're falling a little bit behind. He found a deep analysis and drew back up a little bit. One of his cards is a land that we know about. Duress, Bricks, so that's good for us. Free card. I think he returned Dismal Backwater to his hands. Yeah, he returned it. So he has a Dismal Backwater in his hands. Magic Online does not work via Wine. I am playing via a VirtualBox VM running Windows 7. So we don't know his last card. Bolt is a phenomenal draw. Magic Online barely runs on Windows. I would not want to try and run it on Wine, even if it could. I would not play it. Hex works via Wine. Hex works very well via Wine, actually. Mop up his board. Alright, so we want the extra Kuldotha Rebirth, which I think means we want an Ichor Wellspring over the Pentad Prism, and we're going to trim a Firebolt. Firebolt was actually okay there, but... And maybe I do want the extra Cycling Land as opposed to, like, Windscarred Crag. I could see that. Although if I'm cutting a Prophetic Prism, I probably don't want to cut that, so maybe let's do this. Yeah, VirtualBox is free, though. If I'm already going to have to pay for a copy of Windows, I don't want to pay for software to run it into. Curse in this matchup? You think so? I guess we're both killing a lot of things for each other. Ugh. Okay, yeah, maybe we should bring in Curse. Games do go long. This hand's so good if it had a land that we could play on one. This is a keep with a scribe. Bottom on land. Untapped red land. Brainstorm, force the Delver flip's pretty good. At least we get to bolt it next turn. Angelica with the follow. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. That's true. It would make his cards very cheap. Curse is probably fine. Rats, I thought he was going to miss a land drop too. That would have been so good. He did tap down though, so unless he has days and we miss a land drop, we get to bolt this. Not a whole lot. Just hanging out, streaming some Pauper this afternoon. Life's swell. It's like after almost 400 people hanging out. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Thursday afternoon here. There's a lot of different things you could be doing. Awesome people you could be watching. So, if it's your first time at the stream, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a grinder on the SCG Tour. Currently ranked first on their leaderboard. Stream all sorts of constructed magic and constructed hex here several times a week. In Magic, we stream Standard, Modern, Pauper, Legacy, and Hex. There's only one constructed format, so that's the one we play there. I don't really play in pre-release events. Don't really have a desire to play in those. They're expensive. I just pre-order. I just offer up my wallet to Star City Games and pre-order the cards that I need to play for pickup. Alright, Stormbound Geist. That's annoying. Untapped red source. Untapped white source would have been okay as well. Actually, any untapped source so we could play these prophetic prisms. I guess we'll discard the Muldrifter. All right. Well, we're gonna get our journey countered now. Why didn't we Firebolt last turn? Maybe I was supposed to? I don't know. I guess he's guaranteed to have counter magic up the following turn. Then we just start getting beat down by a 3/3, which feels bad. I buy as few cards as possible. So Spare Deck, whose logo is under the stream here, and there's a discount code, Jeff7, I believe, to get 7% off. They rent Magic cards, so I generally just rent or borrow the cards that I need to play. If I can't borrow them, I just rent them from Spare Deck. I'm just going to concede to a fish here. Just miss land drops for too many turns. It does no longer kill a Flip Delver. That is correct. I did get a fourth journey. Alright, good. I'm going to cut this main deck Electrickery, I think. I don't know if I want in the sideboard, but I'm just going to... The Bog, I think, is more cute than good. I think I'm going to do that. think most of the rest of the deck seems reasonable. I just wanted more removal for big fat fatties. So we went 2-3. I made some mistakes. Had a little bit of bad luck on that last one. Let's try one more. You are very right, cruising in. Hand sweet. Just bunch of removal. Oh, we played against Alan earlier. It's a new league for us. Oh, what was Alan playing? I think he was on a control deck. Or is he on Tron? No, he was on the control deck. Okay, yeah, he's playing... opponent is playing blue-black control without teachings. So we're just taking our direct damage and sending it upstairs. Looking for artifacts. That's why I cycled that. Try and draw some cards. Probably just need a counterspell. Oh, sweet. That's great for us. Peace, Protomon. Yeah, definitely. Good luck in your pre-release events. God, this card's so busted. Like, just like sometimes divination, other times 2/2 divinations. Like, it's very good. He has to discard here, which is great for us. I don't think I want a divination again. I think I want to play this and cycle the Forgotten Cave. Again, looking for some artifacts to get these Glint Hawks online. Alright, there's an artifact we're looking for. Let's see if this eats a counterspell. It could very well eat a counterspell. We are light on artifacts. These Glint Hawks are just gonna rot in our hand. It's unfortunate. Tap my land wrong here. I should have left Windscarred Crag up so we could blast this at unstep. No, everyone has pretty reasonable mana in this format because, and the main reason is that because a lot of decks play, we have to discard here, which sucks. A lot of decks play, what's it called? They play the, like filtering, like the prisms and stars and stuff. I don't even think Spreading Seas is that good against Tron. Like maybe if you're an aggro Spreading Seas deck. Forbidden alchemy, huh? The value, draw all the cards. So probably going to want to journey this. I assume he's killing our guy here. Might need to restart Magic Online. It's getting exceptionally sluggish. Magic Online is always sluggish, but it's getting exceptionally sluggish. It's probably largely in part due to people like the Professor promoting it. You know, people like me playing it on stream. Pauper League's also definitely helped. See Pikachu on screen there. Thanks for the support. I appreciate the follow. I don't know about the best. Yeah, and people migrating. Like, normally, I'd be playing fistfuls of Modern right now. Just like, because Standard's dead on Magic Online, but like, Modern is broken right now too, so we can't do that. Let's draw all the cards. Like, on a scale of 1 to countered, how countered is the Small Drifter? Ban announcements go up Monday morning. Avacyn and Nari are my picks for testing in Cord. I think Nari could be super reasonable. However you pronounce it, Nahari, whatever the red-white planeswalker is. The worst part about this season is like we're waiting over the weekend. It's just like all of the random. He has an echoing. I guess I'll just take one here. Yeah, I'll just take one. He probably has echoing decay. Oh no, there's echoing decay in his bin. Huh. Maybe that was a chump check and we just failed. We might have just gotten chump checked. Take a counterspell out of his hand. Yeah, definitely main deck. I don't think Gitrog's going to be very good in Cord. Gitrog's probably a monster in Modern, but I don't think it's going to be good in Cord. I think Gitrog is probably good enough in is probably good enough in Standard and might be good enough in Modern. Oh, he had Tragic Slip. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, definitely Immortal Echoes. Do so. Feel free. I think we're on the deck him out plan. I think we're on just like the naturally deck him plan. This matchup seems bad. It doesn't seem good. There's Kuldotha Reverse. So whoever asked why this deck called Kuldotha Jeskai, because it actually only plays 2 copies of this card, but this card's reasonably powerful. Bounce a life gain land. I think he said last time that his Gurmag Anglers are in his sideboard, so I think we just have to, like, ride out his Mole Drifters and Seagate Oracles to win game 1 here. Gitrog draws a card every time you crack a fetch land. That's why it's probably modern playable somewhere. Gitrog draws a card every time you dredge life from the loam and put a land from your deck into your graveyard. That's why it's probably modern playable. Alright, well, he edicted us last turn, so I'm not going to play around a sweeper. He probably doesn't have any in his main deck, and if he does, he definitely doesn't have any in his hand, so I'm just going to rebirth off the Ichor Wellspring this turn. I don't know if Gitrog's going to be insane, but it's probably playable. Steal game 1 and then time them out. Speaking of timing them out, I probably need to restart my client so we don't get timed out. He's not I don't think he's playing Justice. He's not playing Teachings, or he's only playing like 1 Teachings or something like that, so I don't think there's Justices in his deck. We played against him earlier. He's got Forbidden Alchemy instead of Teachings, so he's just got like more removal and sorceries and like preordains and stuff. We lost to him in our last league. It was a close set. Looks like we might steal game 1 this time with these Gout Blasts. Another Chainer's Edict. Yep. Got another one up there. His hand is just like, it has to be mono counter spells, right? And he has to mill 2 cards. Alright, well I'm going to bin these 2. And then try and kill him with these Galvanic Blasts next turn. He's down to 11 cards in his deck. Oh, shoot. How many Firebolts are in here? Just 1? So we lost 1 Firebolt? Well, that's not great. Oh, crap. Do I really? Damn it, Hoagland. Damn it. Just instantly punished. I just assumed I had 3 artifacts. Ugh, that was a punt. Go ahead, add it to the counter. Oh, he doesn't have counterspells in his hand either. What is in his hand? I don't understand. You just got like Think Twices and stuff? Alright, not punished. Sweet. Sweet. Not punished. Alright. Pyroblast and Curse and Journey and Firebolt out. Lone Missionary out. Lightning Bolts out. I think this is what we did last time. Is Firebolt... I think Firebolt's... Lightning Bolt is more reach, but Firebolt... Firebolt can flashback and kill more Mole Drifters. Actually, I will update it right now. There are links to my deck list below the stream. The one down there is currently 1 card off, so I will fix that. Yeah, if I get rid of... Alright, the link below the deck list is now valid. Yeah, actually, Court Sanctifier seems okay. We can, like, kick it to kill our own Wellspring and draw a card. It's like it's a 2/3 that draws a card when it comes into play. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Good lord, the application is running so slow. We'll keep... Definitely need to restart Magic Online after this game. Maybe even before this match is done. We'll just F6 a lot. Oh, that was a good draw until he duresses us. The real question is, do we jam it on 3? If he has counter magic up, I'm not going to. He definitely has more counter magic than duresses in his deck, so I'm just going to play this, and we're going to try and play this on 4 with the Pyroblast up and hope to not get Seagate Oracled into duress like happened to us the last time we played him. But if that happens, that happens, but I think it is still technically correct to wait a turn to play the Curse since we drew the 4th land. And he could have double counterspell now, but this is our definitely our best opportunity to sneak this in. Like, would not be surprised if neither of these resolve, but we tried. Gave it the old college try. Yeah. I mean, our Pyroblast resolved. We could feel good about that. We got that going for us. And he had the duress, so you see, that's definitely worth shoving there. Took our journey. Sure. Why not jam it turn 2? You mean turn 3? Curse costs 3 mana, so you can't jam it turn 2. Just gonna Gallop Blast this guy. I probably need to save my journeys for... I want to save my journeys for his Mole Drifters and his Gurmag Anglers. He's not playing Capsize. At least that we've seen. He wasn't playing Capsize last time we played, because again, he doesn't have Teachings. Well, he only has 1 card in his hand, so let's go for broke. This resolves, it's beautiful for us. Oh, yeah. The Brola Bear with the 2-month resub. Thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate it. Myself and both my kids. And, of course, Pikachu jumping up and down on screen there. Gets us 1 point closer to our next resub goal of a nice long 12-hour stream. My wife is a business analyst for State Farm Insurance. Deep analysis is a good one. Cursing in with the 3-month resub. Thank you for the continued support. I really appreciate it. He's got a fish to put on top of his deck. Targeting Seagate Oracle. Hey, look! Sanctifiers is going to draw a card. That's sweet. That's why we put him in here. So, Sanctifiers we're kicking to destroy our own Ichor Wellspring to draw a card. You know, for value. And then we can go ahead. Play Glint Hawk. I was just cruising through the default GIF animations, and I saw Pikachu, and then I just went and found a bunch of Pikachu GIFs for the different sub-levels. And, you know, I played Pokemon as a small child. I'm a 20-something, so I grew up playing Pokemon. Man, maybe we can actually beat him down in the air with these Galvlasts to finish. Definitely binning Sanctifier since that one can't fly. So we're gonna... Yeah, wow. So we're going to journey his fish. I'm gonna double Galvblast his dome and hit him for 4 here. Sandshrew was my favorite of the originals. Don't ask me why. As a small child, that was my favorite. Blast you. Blast you. Take the shotgun, send it upstairs. Man, if we hadn't had to discard that Galvblast on earlier, we'd be really good. Yeah, man, all the Seagate Oracles are belong to you. You got some edicts here? Rakshasha's secret. I think we're supposed to keep the journey in case he like follows up with a fish or a flying blocker. Maybe he's just dead here. He's probably just dead here. Doomblade, sure. All right, so he's gotta draw something. Yes, he has Forbidden Alchemy flashback. And then all of these little goblins are lethal. Oh, that's a good draw. To draw more cards. Bonin has just not gotten going this game, which feels sweet because we've been doing our thing, that's for sure. I'm assuming flashing back, this means he's just dead. Unless he finds, like, Disfigure and his Tragic Slip in his hand. But even then, we just, like, journey one of these guys and crack him for 1. Alright, I'm gonna restart Magic Online real quick here. And by real quick, yeah, it's actually really quick. Computer's fast. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure I want to close Magic Online. Yeah, I definitely think Teachings is a worse matchup for this deck than what that opponent was doing. Like, we've played 5 games against him now and we're 3-2. We lost 1-2 and we beat him 2-0 there. Let's go ahead and queue up another, shall we? It's nice to have MTG bot working again. Posting the stats up there. I was sad that he was down for so many days. This hand seems reasonable. Just got much better. It's a threat. I think we're supposed to play Prism here. Looks like another control deck possibly, or Delver. Yeah, sure, but the fetch lands are on average worse than the duels, I think, so... And Brainstorm isn't that much better. Yeah, I think Ponder is better than Brainstorm on average in this format. This resolves. We pick up our Prophetic Prism. Play Ancient Den. He's killing it in response. Sure, man. Do you draw some cards? You draw some cards, and I draw some cards. Everybody draws some cards. Now we have a 2/2 flyer that drew a card. Like, so good. As someone who's played, like, my teaching list that we have is playing Accumulate Knowledge as well. Accumulate Knowledge is very good. It's worse against, like, Bajuka Bog, but I think on average it's better than Think Twice. It's a lot less mana, which is not irrelevant. How do you beat the Aura's deck with this deck? No idea. You probably don't. What a lot of people don't understand when building Magic decks and talking about open formats like Pauper and Modern and Legacy, it's okay to have matchups that are bad. It's okay to just look at a matchup and go, you know what? If we play against that, we're probably just not going to win, and that's fine. Like, it's gonna happen. That's how Eternal formats work sometimes. Celestial Flare seems really hot, Erwin. That might even be better than the Extra Journey. I don't know. Like, it's different. It's definitely good for that matchup, though. Yeah, I'm gonna Rebirth the Wellspring to start, I think. And he looks like he's playing a traditional teachings list, so he probably has access to Justice. I don't know what that is. I'm just starting to play around with Pauper. This is the third deck we've tried. The teachings list feels reasonable. This deck might be reasonable. The 4-color Acid Trip deck that we tried out last week was not good. Yeah, I believe you that Journey is better main, but like in the board, Purge seems okay. Like, or Flare seems okay. Flare's also going to get like Big Fish a lot of the time too. Double white is tough. I don't know that double white is tough. Like with the Prophetic Prisms and like. How many white sources are in the mana base? We've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess we're only on 16 white. Okay, I believe you that double white is rough. I'm looking at my current mana with all of my white sources going, double white's not that bad, but yeah, on average, double white probably is a little bit harder than I think. Pauper Affinity is still a deck. MTGGoldfish.com. You can look at format breakdowns. Exhume's the only reanimate spell at Pauper. You get Echoing Decay. All right, and deals with the goblins. You still have, of course, Skyfisher hanging out. Alright, so we get to resolve Muldrifter. That sounds wonderful for us. Thank you, opponent, for giving us the gift of Muldrifter. We will be sure to use the cards he provides well. It's not the worst. Yeah, man, you disfigured my divination. Good for you. Good for you. That being said, opponent's probably going to be able to run us out of threats and cards here. We need the curses post board in this matchup for sure. All right, well, this is basically Raven's Crime for a counterspell. It's like target opponent discards a counterspell. He's only got, I guess actually he only has 7 mana here, so he can't Teachings for counterspell. So it's pretty good playing that out there actually. To play this, and then am I just like blasting him and then firebolting him? I think I'm just blasting his dome. That's about as good as this card's getting. Now we can cycle this Forgotten Cave and end step, not have to discard. He's gonna get to flashback Mystical Teachings and go get whatever he wants here, but that's fine. We've got 7 cards in our hand to his 3. And realize he had so many cards. He was down so many cards. Yeah, Erwin, it's very good. This is very close to the deck list. And this, actually, all the cards he's played so far are in the list I've been playing. He got an Accumulate Knowledge, so now he gets to pay 2 mana and draw 3 cards. Seems wonderful. Make sure I remember to cycle this silly thing at end step here. There's this Curse of the Bloody Tome. Well, we've got this Oblivion Ring. One, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get milled for 2 here. I'm going to lead on Skyfisher in the hopes that he burns a counterspell on it. I think I'm going to pick up the Prism here. Yeah. Alright, Oblivion Ring it is. Yeah, start on Prism. We're about to get slowly ground out by this magic card. It's gone until he finds a capsize. Devour flesh. I'll get rid of that one. Ooh, I guess that's wrong because he has Justice in his deck. And if he Justice kills Muldrifter, but it doesn't kill Core Skyfisher unless he does it twice. So yeah, so that was a mistake that I just made. I should have, even though this is the one that was attacking, I should have sacrificed it because Core Skyfisher lives through Justice. I don't know what's in his hand. So he's at 15 and we've got 7 points of reach right now. My game plan is to steal, yep, and look at that, has the Justice. So yeah, just immediately punished for the mistake that I talked about. All right, well, this puts him to 9, and these put him to 3, hypothetically. And then he gains infinite life, and we die. So this card exiles all creatures from a graveyard, and he gains 3 life for each creature exiled this way. Alright, and now the slow burn of the Core Skyfisher. That's probably going to die very soon here. In fact, he has Chainer's Edict in his graveyard. So we are actually just on the... He's probably on the Deck Us Out plan. I'm going to keep playing simply because we are up on clock, and that could be a win condition. So the win con at this point is time our opponent out in 3 games. That is the current win condition. You're definitely not winning this game. But when you choose to play decks like our opponent is playing, the clock is your enemy, and our opponent is not playing quickly. And his deck takes a while to actually kill. Opponent is definitely going to mill us out, even without the curse of the Bloody Tome. He's definitely milling us out. Or he might kill us with his Event Cards Justice. Either way, it's going to take another 2 or 3 minutes off his clock while I just sit here in F6. I can't counter Justice post board. I don't have negates or anything like that. I only have Pyroblast on my board in this configuration. We do have 8 points of reach. So I'm just gonna F6 a bunch here while he kills us. Every angle. Yep, you can just burn us out with Justice. That is exactly correct. So, opponent's win condition, and this is the other deck that we've been streaming with. You can check my YouTube archives for copies of this deck. They play Justice with buyback, and they have 2 pristine talismans. So they just gain life and do that. No, not at all. In fact, when you watch me play the teachings deck, you will often hear me talk about playing quickly because the clock is part of the game. And my opponent is now down almost 5 minutes on the clock. So if we steal game 2 with like a Curse of Death's Hold and our Hydroblast, we can definitely kill him. I don't even know why my opponent's casting spells. He should just be passing the turn. Correct. My opponent should just be skipping back and forth and letting me draw. I definitely agree. He could have made me draw. Yep, this definitely targets the player. I mean, opponent chose a good deck for playing Magic. Like, opponent's deck lets you play a lot of Magic. Like, in terms of Magic played, like, definitely sick value in terms of how much real Magic you get to play. He gets 25. You're right. He gets to play his 25 minutes almost every single match. Oh. All right. Up almost 6.5 minutes. So that's the game plan here. The game plan is be up 6.5 minutes. Bring in Sanctifiers and Curse the Bloody Tome. I'd probably board out Journeys and Firebolt and a Lightning Bolt. I guess Oblivion Ring's okay. He's probably bringing in Big Fish. Lone Missionary doesn't seem great. I guess I'll leave in a couple of Journeys. I've definitely done that before, Level. Like, you know? If this was like a PTQ or a Mox or something like that had sizable prices, like every angle you want to cover. At least it's a creature. Maybe. I think we're on like the curse or bust game plan. Magic Online has the word bloody filtered out. Can I drag it on screen here? You see it? Curse of the bleeped tome. Yeah, this hand's fine. I mean, you have to not die to big fish. Oh, MTG bot. MTG bot, please explain quality. Alright, we got a Pyroblast. That's good. Rebirth medium. I guess Rebirth early isn't awful. Another Pyroblast is definitely not bad. This could be how we steal a game. Like if he doesn't have, he just might not have the answer to this right now. We just get to go to take him to the Goblin Brown Town beatdown. Sounds like my youngest is awake after this match. If he still doesn't fall back asleep, I'll have to go grab him. He's missing a land drop too. That's good for us. Meet my good friend Muldrifter. Muldrifter and Scully. He goes like Swamp, Justice us, whatever. We've got Glen Hawks to follow it up and another Drifter, but just concedes. Look at that. Freest of games. Got him. Got him. Yeah. Alright, submit. Good concede on our opponent's part. Keeping opponents very aware of his clock. It's good for him. You have to be aware of your clock when you're playing the deck that our opponent is playing. He did not get the justice he deserved. Yep, it seems fine. A little slow, but tap land. Oh, that was wrong. I should have played the Great Furnace and just sent this upstairs. I love sending the shotgun upstairs. Probably getting excluded. Just counterspell, sure. Not sure. I mean, I definitely think Pauper has potential to be very popular. It's a lot of fun. Return this one. Replay this one. Draw my card. Play my land. I guess we get to blast him for 4 now. I think the big thing that holds back Pauper, and I'm not sure this is ever going to change, is like we need we need Pauper Opens or Pauper Grand Prix or some kind of big reason for like the only reason, like, I'm enjoying myself playing Pauper right now, but the only reason I'm here playing Pauper is because there aren't any other relevant formats to be playing on Magic Online, and I'm kind of glad that, like, to get a chance to explore something new. Like, it is fun, but like, in order for Pauper to really become relevant, you need a reason for people to, you know, want to focus and try and break the format and play it a whole bunch. Adding Skyfisher to the board here is fine because it doesn't die to Justice next turn. Let's see what he gets here. Now we're not going to add any more pressure to the table. Actually, I might add Core Sanctifiers. I guess I might Sanctifiers kick to kill the Wellspring, depending on when he gets here. Gets Agony Warp. That's pretty good. Kill Skyfisher, Fog's Glenhawk for a turn. Yeah, exactly, Priest. That is 100% true. I definitely agree that there are probably a lot of decks in this format that people just haven't tried because there's no reason to. Feel like I'm supposed to add pressure to the table this turn. Probably in the form of Sanctifier, so we don't just get Justice out of the game. Yeah. I'm going to cast this with Kicker. I mean, they gave you Pauper Leagues, which definitely has increased interest in the format. Yeah, exactly. They're just like, there isn't bottom line available to make Pauper worthwhile to the companies that need to make it, that could make it worthwhile and drive more interest in it. And these journeys might just be bad. He might not have Big Fish in his deck, but I think there's a very reasonable chance that Big Fish comes into this matchup. I think I would board my Big Fishes in this matchup. You get a. I'm glad we played the Rebirth out last turn, so now he gets a Journey or a Prism. Okay, there's no Big Fish in his deck if he took the Prism out of our hand. Pyroblast is a great card for him to not know about. I think I'm going to go ahead and Muldrifter this turn. It exposes us to Justice next turn, but they only play 2 of those, and he can only fight with 1 counterspell this turn. He's going to be able to fight with more than that the following turn. It's just resolved. So he probably has Justice. Boilerworks is great because it lets us return Step to our hand, and we can cycle that then. So getting Justice sucks, but hopefully he just has cast removal spell at end step here. That would be great because it means he doesn't have Justice. Sweet. Well, this Lightning Bolt just got upgraded to make 2 goblins. Pristine Talisman's pretty good. You know, it might even be possible that we want a second Oblivion Ring in the sideboard instead of a fourth journey. I could definitely see that being true. just to like tag random things like this. So we're only actually doing 3 a turn right now. That being said, do I want to add another Muldrift to the table? I think I do. We can force it through this turn. Oh, I should have tapped the Boiler Works. If we get Justice, we feel bad about life. But okay, we've got Glint Hawk and Kuldotha Rebirth as follow-ups now, so Justice is less bad. And now we have effectively 5 power on the table, because this is basically negating one of our power. So he's dead in 3 right now. We just never beat Justice though unless we draw Curse. So again, yep, this is Justice. That sucks. Yep. Alright, so now we're on Curse or Bust. At least all of our things cantrip. We've got that going for us. Alright, 2 curses and 26 cards. Nausea, it's like a classy shrivel. I like it. Alright, it doesn't die to Justice. That's great. And he spent his shrivel last turn instead of playing Justice out to kill the goblin, so... Curse, it's Curse of the Bloody Tome. It enchanted player mills 2 cards every turn, basically. We can counter Capsizes at least, so we've got that going for us. Also remember that opponent has to kill us in the next 6 minutes and 50 seconds, so we've got that going for us as well. I think if he flashes back Teachings here, we're gonna blast it. Yeah. Just because he'll get a black removal spell that we can't blast. Well, now we're gonna save this Pyroblast for a Capsize, because otherwise he can just flash this back. So, of course, Skyfisher down. Maybe we want Crypt Incursion. Sure, so he's just going to gain a bunch of life. That's fair. Curse. Well, we get to counter the back half of Teachings at least. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this and cycle it. Basically, we'll return the Prophetic Prism to our hand. Because again, if we hit Curse here, we want to cast it. Board in 2 of them. Oh, come on, work with me. 19 cards. So he's gonna play Justice with buyback. Kills Glenhawk and Muldrifter. Yep. Sheener Sea deck, yep. I mean, we have 2 curses. But you're right, we have drawn a lot of cards. Watch both curses be like the bottom 2 cards of our deck. He's gonna start justicing us. Yep. No, I don't think the clock's going to get us the win. He only has to cast Justice 8 more times. Maybe I'm supposed to leave missionaries in instead of these journeys. I just thought for sure he'd bring fish in. Like, we'd really want Journey in our deck if he brings fish in. Maybe we can jump up and steal it with a pile of reach if he goes low enough. Because he doesn't have his talisman giving him life, so he's only 8 points ahead of us right now. So if we draw one more piece of burn, we can get him. I mean, alright. And again, I think if we know that he's not bringing fish in, then I like leaving missionary in. But if we know fish isn't, if we don't know fish is in his deck, I want Journey in my deck. Like, and I don't think it's particularly close. So we've got 11 points of damage in our hand. So he just has to get to 11, and he's hitting both of us every turn. So. Curse you. Do I fight over this is the question. I don't think I'm supposed to fight over this. He's just like, we've got 11 points of damage in our hand. He's going to do his thing a couple more times, and I want to be able to fight over our burn spells as best as possible. So yeah, so I think at this point, like, he only needs to do... Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to fight over that. Like, if the next curse is our very next card... Radiant Fountain was a very good draw for him there. Well, we're going to draw another card with this. Because he's killing us before we deck ourselves, so might as well. Oh, he returned Fountain with Deprive. Got it. Thank you. Is that the game? That might be the game. Card holder with the host. Thanks for that. He's not justicing anymore either. All right, so we should have fought over the tome. This is officially too slow, and we probably would have had enough. All right, we're fighting over this one. So we've lost this game. If opponent plays correctly, we're losing this game. Yeah. So the mistake, we should have fought over that first tome. I shouldn't have just expected him to keep justicing us. We definitely would have won this if we would have had 2 tome triggers going. Even with how long it was kind of unfortunate for us to go as long as we did without drawing a Curse of the Bloody Tome, but we definitely would have won the game had I fought over that first one. Yeah, he would definitely have run out of cards. Look at all these lands, right? Yeah, he finished the game with 4 cards in his deck, just like. To be fair, we were very unfortunate this game that it is very statistically unlikely that both of our Curse of the Bloody Tomes were in the bottom. Well, they were the bottom what? Like I think we were at like 15 cards before we saw Curse of the Bloody Tome. But that being said, like we would have won this game if like and everyone in chat agreed with me, and I think we were all equally wrong. Like that if I should have fought over this first one. Like that's what should have happened. If we would have fought over that first one, we would have won that game. Yep. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that matchup's bad for us overall. Like we won game 1 or game 2 because our opponent stumbled and we had a pretty aggressive start, but it might even be that like that matchup feels bad enough that it might be like a 4 Curse of the Bloody Tome matchup in all honesty. And like it could just be that we've hit it a lot today, like we've played it 3 times and however many matches this is our we've actually played it half our matches today, so like it could be opinion skewed, but like this doesn't seem awful against Tron either. Yeah, sure, but like that's just reason to say play teachings or like sideboard for it better. Like maybe we don't need 4 Pyroblasts and we just like want more Curse of the Bloody Tome. Like let's cut the 4th blast and like play a 3rd curse. Or so long this image, you're not wrong. You're definitely correct. I also think some amount of counterspells that aren't Pyroblast and Hydroblast could also be good in this board. Like a couple of negates would have gone a long way in some of these matches. Like not having a way to interact with Justice buying back is bad. So like maybe instead of a third tome, we just want a negate because like we had him. I felt like we were pretty far ahead that game until he just like had a Justice that we couldn't interact with. So like maybe two negates in the board are reasonable. Like one of each of these becomes negate. We haven't actually played against a match yet where Hydroblast is gas though, so it could be possible we want to wait on that. But like Hydroblast is like good against like the Goblins deck and the Burn deck, right? And like Electricity is pretty reasonable there too, I'd imagine. Yeah, seems fine. Start on I guess start on step actually, right? Since they're both tapped lands. I guess that's a reason to start on this, so that way, and then we drew Ancient Den for like the ultimate rubbins. All right. Well, oh, I guess we can journey this. Yeah, I guess we're just journeying this, so he doesn't have a chance to play. He doesn't have a chance to play counter magic. If he's the blue-black Delver deck, we're gonna be sad that we spent this. But if he's mono blue Delver, like we're really not too sad. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you finish with 2 cards in your deck. I just assumed incorrectly that you were going to continue casting Justice, and you didn't. And it was definitely correct for you to not continue casting Justice, because we would have definitely won the game if you would have kept playing that. Damn it, Moto! Damn it, Moto! I turned off auto yields when you were here, and then you still skipped through my second main phase. It was my fault for hitting F6, but we were in here, and I turned off auto yields, and you didn't recognize it. Why even have a turn off button if it's not going to work properly? Why? I'm going to trade these two if he offers it. And again, I understand it was my fault for having hit F6 in the first place without playing a land, but I definitely felt like it was in here when I clicked that, and then it didn't work. He doesn't want to trade. That's interesting. Poor Skyfisher. If he wants to play another Sprayed out here, we get to Galv Blast. I'm going to pick up the Step for now. Play Forgotten Cave. Attack for 3. This trade's mutagenic growth. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Not playing around that one. Opponent's build is unique. Block. Cycle this. Get Sprayed plus another counterspell this way. That's a lot of sprites. Into a daze. Oh no. Well, that means our Muldrifter is not getting dazed next turn. Got that going for us. If he wants to attack, I'll block a 1/1 spell stutter. If he attacks with just that, what do? I think I just take 3. Ugh. All right, take 2. Well, at least he hasn't drawn a ninja yet. We got that going for us. Alright, Prism. Let's just cycle Glenhawk. If it resolves. Probably doesn't resolve. Yep. I'm going to trade with his 3/1 next turn, and then flashback Firebolt on another one. Really needed one of those Muldrifters to resolve. Gosh, gross. Yeah, Hydroblast and Daze are like the expensive cards in this format. I guess if we get Spell Pierce here, I feel kind of bad, but that means we get to resolve Prophetic Prism. to cycle Forgotten Cave at least. Yeah, kill Spire Golem. At least try to. Probably supposed to do this during his upkeep. I think Muldrifter's out here. And even then, like, Muldrifters, he's got 3 lethal threats and a Spellstutter Sprite that he just put back in his hand, so... Yeah, I mean... That's fine. I think this matchup's good for us on average. We got Savage by some dazes there, but I think we're still ahead on average. Now that we know he's on a bunch of dazes, we will play around them. Normally they don't play many dazes because it's expensive. I think that's the first time I've had daze cast against me in this matchup. Yeah, I think Kuldotha is ahead in this matchup on average. A lot of our cards line up well against what they're doing. Trim 1 Muldrifter maybe. I'm not convinced we want Electrickery. We didn't bring it in last time, and we won, so results-based thinking says it doesn't work, and in theory I don't think it works either. Seems reasonable. Serviceable, even. Yeah, I feel like that's the definition. Like, Basic Swamp's definition is the reason why I'm kind of hesitant to bring it in. Like, it feels like it's a card that it's either going to be a 2 or a 10. It's either going to win us the game on the spot, or it's going to rot in our hand and just do stone nothing. While we wish it was anything else. Sounds like my oldest is up from his naps. This is probably going to be our last match of the day. Appreciate everyone hanging out today. Big thanks to all of the resubs and a couple of brand new subs as well. There's merit to Pyroblasting as cantrips here, but I think we want to trade up on mana with these Pyroblasts, like use them to counter things that cost more than 1 mana. So we're basically gaining tempo. I think I want to save the core Skyfisher for a position where it can draw us a card, so I'm going to pass for now. Spire Golem, sure. Let's get to journey that. Oh, you know what's something I hadn't considered? Maybe we're supposed to bring in Core Sanctifiers in this matchup. It can, like, randomly draw us a card off of our Ichor Wellspring, and it kills Spire Golem, and it kills Bone Splitter. I think that could actually be reasonable. Kill both of these guys. I guess we'll play this and use it as a gain life, basically. Blue source would have been hot there, because someone would have gotten to jam Muldrifter down his throat. Well, he doesn't have a follow-up threat, so that's good for us. Alright, tapped blue source is not the best, but it's possible I should have... No, it's definitely right. I should have flashbacked... I guess we didn't have enough mana to flashback Firebolt and Pyroblast last turn, so I guess that wasn't wrong. What was he have for 3? Boomerang? Bonus Grace. Target player draws a card. It's hot. Basically lets you cycle lands. So Retrace lets him recast things from... So I'm going to go ahead and Galv Blast this here, and if he has a Spellstutter Sprite or a Counterspell, we get to resolve Muldrifter next turn. Spellstutter Sprite's the worst case scenario, but... If he just has like Counterspell or Deprive here, that's great, because I'm going to get to resolve this. Logic Knot. Yeah, sure. No, I'm just the unluckiest. Can't pay for that. That seems really bad in his deck. Seems much worse than the a lot of the alternatives. So Double Daze gets our Muldrifter here. He's gonna gush into Double Daze or gush into a second Daze. I guess it takes all of his lands off the table, but he does have Spire. God dang it. Yeah, pay for your days. Ha! Joke's on you. You did it again in response, so I get to use this mana to cycle. Get got. He doesn't have any lands in play, but we have gotten Double Dazed. I'm just going to skill check him here and ship with this. Could be 2 free points of damage. We're not blocking after he equips Bone Splinter next turn. No attack is weird. I mean, they all went back to his hand. He didn't get it himself. He just, you know, reset all of his lands. So he has two more islands in hand at least. Hopefully 1 or 2 more past that. We're just going to beat down for 4 here. Well, that's good for us. We get to go ahead and kill that thing. Muldrifter. Muldrifter. Are we actually flooded this game? Or just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 lands and 17 cards. It's a little more than average, but not too much. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need. All I need is a chance. I didn't attack because our opponent had a 4/4. Yeah, he didn't attack with his 4/4. So I didn't attack my 2/3 into his 4/4. This Spire Golem flies, for reference. Getting that Sprited is fine. I think I'd rather have Kuldotha Rebirth Resolve. I don't really want to trade these here. We're winning the race if he... Yep, that's Spire Golem. We're no longer winning the race, so let's trade. are losing this race. Not good. Not good. I wonder if Grace is going to put some work in here. We have never had a point in any of these games where we had an extra spell in our hand and could have blown out our opponent with an Electrickery. Like, all of these times that he spell search for us and, like, randomly had extra things on the board, like, all of our spells have been doing stuff. Like, that's just... In order for Electrickery to... I believe you that Electrickery is good when they have their draws like this, but sometimes they just don't draw any Spell Stutter sprites, and they draw Spires, and they flip their Delver before you draw your Electrickery, and they have Ninja of the Deep Hours, and Electrickery does stone nothing. He probably has a counterspell here to counter the bolt on the Spire Golem, but this is it's definitely one of our best openings before the game is just completely gone. So, like, unless we plan to have boarded out one of these lands for an Electrickery, we would not have been better off here. This card's doing so much work. I want to play it. So, like, what's out here? Mole Drifter into stuff, and he doesn't have a counterspell. GG's opponent. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and call it a day. I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for hanging out. This deck's medium at best. It feels like it doesn't do... Let's talk about the deck for a minute before we close it out, since these go into archive and people look at them later. This deck feels like it's got some neat, like, little value-y, cute things. It lacks an efficient clock, very similar to the Acid Trip deck, and it doesn't do anything exceptionally powerful. It feels like it doesn't even feel like it is. It's weak to the Teachings deck. It feels like it's weak against Tron. We only played that once, but it felt like we were behind the entire time in that matchup. It's just Tron gobbles up these kind of dirtily mid-range decks like that. So, I'm probably just going to finish out that Pauper League later while I'm not streaming, but I doubt I'll be streaming this deck again. It just doesn't feel like it does anything exceptionally powerful or attacks the format from a very good angle. In order for a deck to be acceptable, having bad matchups like this deck does, like against the Teachings and the Tron deck, it has to be really far ahead in other matchups that are important in the format. And it feels like we're favored against the Delver deck, but I don't think we're favored enough that it's worth having a bad Teachings and a bad Tron matchup. And I'd also imagine that this deck just isn't very good against something like Boggles and probably a few of the other things in the format as well. So just like the downsides don't outweigh the upside. So I don't think I would recommend anyone playing this deck if you're looking to get into Pauper. Mono Black Control might be something we look into. That seems like it does sweet, powerful, fun stuff. So until next time, folks, I think tomorrow afternoon is going to be a Hex TCG stream. I haven't done one of those yet this week. And then I'm home all weekend, and there's no GP or Open coverage, so I'll be streaming Magic and Hex this weekend at various points, I am sure. Have a good evening. Remember, if you missed any or all of this stream or any of the other streams, you can find them on my YouTube archive below. I'm going to get this one uploading shortly, so it'll be up probably within the next hour or 2 hours. Peace, folks.